So I saw a heartbreaking story the other day. Well, I don't know if it's heartbreaking per se, but it had the contours of being heartbreaking. Some fella lamented his life because here he was with a house that he'd invested a lot of money in. I think he took up a loan, huge loan of 5 or 600,000 US dollars, something like that, with a 20% down payment, which obviously helps, but it ain't enough. Now, anyway, what am I getting at here? Anyway, this guy had, or this couple rather, because this was a guy who lived together with his wife, and they had two children, and this family had literally stripped all their livings down to a bare minimum, or had rather stripped down all of their costs to a bare minimum. They, you know, sold all of the unnecessary stuff that they didn't have. They cut back on all unnecessary spending. They were struggling to find better paying jobs, etc., etc. And basically, they're now wondering if they'd had to sell their home and start to rent because they couldn't keep up with the increased inflation. And just to add fuel to the fire, there were now announcements that the bank would increase the interest rate not once, not twice, but 3 times this year. And so you can ask yourself, what happens when you're increasing the interest rate 3 times throughout the year, and you know that people are already in dire straits financially. A lot of people can't even afford to pay down on their current mortgages. What's going to happen to the families? What's going to happen to people who look to settle down, who look to have kids? They just can't, because it's too expensive to have kids. It's too expensive to have a family. And what's going to happen to society? I've been complaining and lamenting about this before. I've been ranting about this before, but it bears repetition because it's so important. If any society struggles with low birth rates and the politicians introduce yet more regulations, more laws, more increased costs, and they don't look to slow down anytime soon, then what's the only solution? The only real solution is to make more money. It is as simple as that. Paying down on your debt for sure, but also making more money, because like I've previously said, you can only cut back so much, but there is no limit to how much you can scale your earnings. And believe me, I know what it's like. Right now, I'll give you an example. Right now, this zipper is broken. I could just go buy a new one, and I'm gonna do it sooner or later. Now, the reason that I'm not gonna do it anytime soon is because I'm using this jersey here, this tracksuit to work out with, and to do all sorts of, I guess, dirty work, which means I don't really care how I look. So this one is perfect. This is like a rag that I can put on if I want to do some work. But there was a time where even I couldn't afford to fix the zipper or buy a new tracksuit or whatever it was, simply because it was too much of an unexpected expense. Now, what happens to people if they can't even fix their clothes? Now, don't get me wrong here. I've grown up when with wearing patches on my pants because there wasn't money in my household to buy new pants. So whenever my pants would break and there would be like a hole in the pant, or on the pants and wherever on the knees, it's or whatever, usually around the knees, I would just get some patches, and they would be of a different color. Let's say I was wearing jeans. Let's say I was wearing blue denim jeans, and I would get like a pink or red patch. It looked ridiculous. I didn't really care, and I don't think too many people back then really cared either, because we all, where I came from, we all sort of like grew up lower middle class, I guess it's fair to say. Anyway, the point here is, if you're at the level where you can't even afford to fix your zipper because it's broken, then there is something fundamentally wrong with how you're approaching life. And maybe you should look yourself in the mirror and start to make more money. If you want to learn more about how to make more money, how to build yourself towards riches, I make no promises, but that's what I'm talking about. If you're interested in picking up more knowledge, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and I will listen to this, and I'll see you there.